Welcome to the Reseller Island podcast. If you know which podcaster I was imitating, we can be best friends. Do you guys know who I was doing?
I don't. I'm
No,
trying
I'm
to think.
trying to
No.
think.
I won't
Uh-oh.
I won't divulge it so people in the comments can have a true
Yeah.
chance of
Yeah. Let
being
us know in the
guessed.
comments. I want to know.
How
Yeah,
you
I'm
guys
curious.
doing?
Pretty good.
Doing all
Not too
right.
bad.
Yeah,
How'd
been a
reselling go this week?
busy day.
You want to take that first, Shane? How did reselling go?
Man, it's not going great for me.
Shoot.
Which I'm not. I mean, I'm upset that eBay's not doing well for me this week, but at the same time, it's forcing me to think outside of the box. So I've spent a lot of time today online, looking at outside of the box resourcing,
There you go.
whether it's pallets or storage auctions or different kind of things. So it's forcing me out of my comfort zone, which is kind
Yeah.
of cool. So yeah, I mean, sales are slow, and I've noticed a lot of people on Facebook and Instagram are saying the same thing. So I know for me personally, it's been lack of sourcing good items.
Yeah.
I'm not able. I'm listing from the death pile right now, and the stuff in the death pile, as most of us know, usually isn't the best stuff. So it's unfortunate, but until I find a better sourcing um option, I'm kind of stuck with what I got for now. So I'm trying to make it work.
Yeah. I mean, my online sales have been pretty slow as well. eBay. I mean, I'm having them come in, not quantity of sales, some quality sales, which is always nice.
Yeah, that's cool.
Etsy's a little slower, but the last week or two, I've really shifted on or focused on some like live things I'm doing, a couple shows. I'm curating for a vintage clothing shop in my town. And then I have a big Dib Dit show on Sunday night that's like 70 items, vintage stuff that I'm going to, it's all pre listed. So I really focused on that stuff rather than as much listing as I usually would.
So you just have eBay and Etsy for your static platforms, right? Just those two?
Correct. Yep.
What would you say the breakdown is? eBay, Etsy, like 60-40 or
Yeah, I think you nailed it. 60
yeah.
40. Yeah.
eBay?
eBay's more. Yeah.
Nice.
Etsy makes up for it in the holidays, like October, November. I mean, Etsy's like chinging all day for me, but the rest of the year, it's like, a quarter of eBay, I think.
I feel like you have not even like a gag gift store, but just like a super awesome novelty white elephant store.
Yeah.
Like like there's just football families out there. They're like, oh, dude, this vintage 1938 trophy would be so sick for the party. So I'm
Oh,
sure
yeah.
that
Well,
hits.
just look at that inkwell in last night's live show you did,
Oh, yeah.
Keith.
Yeah.
That
Yep.
that was impressive because I was looking at it when you were showing it, and one of the things they do, uh, Jake, is they do a giveaway
Yeah.
on his show, and the closest guess to what the actual item sold for wins the giveaway. And I was thinking when you first showed it, and you were like, "Yeah, this is a pretty normal item. It's not hard to find. It's not a one off kind of thing." And I was like, all right, like that's probably a $70 item. Then you were like, yeah, it's from 1913. I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
It may not be a one-off item, but how many of those survived since
True.
1913? In
Yep.
the condition, yours looked to be in really good condition. So that's why I guessed 350,
Yeah.
and I ended up being the closest to it. So that went well uh, for you. And I guess that's one of the things I wish I could find down here was stuff like that, because I don't come across, the flea markets that we have are a completely different type of flea market than what you guys have up there. And that's one of the reasons I want to come up there and source with you so bad, is just for one, to experience that kind of flea market,
Mhm.
but two, to finally get a possible, opportunity to make some purchases like that, because you just don't find that stuff down here in the South, at least not in
Yeah.
South Carolina.
No, and that piece actually came in the big storage unit. Buy I made it from a buddy who's a longtime dealer. So he has all that kind of stuff that I actually never had listed it. I took that to a couple nationals, and I had a box that I only took to shows, and I realized this stuff is not listed. So I started listing that, and it did sell.
Well,
So
real quick, if you guys don't mind, I want to show you a picture. Um, Speaking of sports stuff and thinking outside of the box, kind of sourcing for me, I'm looking at storage units. I'm going to see if I can get the camera to focus on this. I want your guys' opinion. High bid currently, it's still got 2 days left. $820 for this unit. It's in Grovetown, Georgia, which is, I don't know, maybe an hour away. But let me zoom in a little bit. This is what the unit looks like.
Jesus.
Oh wow,
Man, they live
What
it in there? That's awesome.
dude,
every
it looks like a shop. Like they would just
Yeah.
open it up and people would come in.
a lot
Yeah.
of that stuff, I can't zoom in because this is just a screenshot. I can't really zoom in, but a lot of that stuff has autographs on it. And let me see how far I can zoom in. I don't know if you can see right in the center on that table is a Vince Lombardi trophy according
Yeah.
to the ad. It says player issued Lombardi trophy, Super Bowl XL III, whatever that is.
Let me look up
30
XLII.
to 37? No, because that would
No,
be a V.
no, that's 40, 43. That's
43.
let's see.
We're at
Pittsburgh,
what, like
Arizona.
57 right now or something?
Yeah, and there's a lot of Steelers stuff in this unit.
Well, that I mean,
But
the Lombardi trophies, if they're issued a player, that's a killer piece. I know they sell them retail. You can buy them. They're custom made, but I know when the Eagles won, a guy who knows I'm a diehard Eagles collector was trying to sell me one that was like a replica made, and that was like $1,000 for the replica. So a player
well,
issued one.
That's insane.
I'm gonna try to. This isn't because it's a screenshot. Nothing's really clear, but on the floor there's a Green Bay Packers poster or something. It's
Yeah.
hard to see, but there's autographs all over that white part. Look at all the footballs in the back on the ground. Those are all autographed footballs. There's boxing gloves hanging up.
To be honest, those balls
But-
should look like they might be trophy balls. Like I collect them,
uh-huh.
and every game, generally the NFL team will give out a game ball to the offensive player of the game, defensive player of the game, and special teams player of the game.
Yeah.
And they'll paint them. I can bring one from the other room. They'll paint them to show, the score, the player who's awarded to. That's what they look like to me, which is much better than just an autographed ball. They're typically
Okay.
game used balls. That looks like a killer unit. I think we probably should put this video out Monday after that ends, Shane, because that looks like 2 days left. I don't want to
Yeah.
get extra attention on that unit.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna watch it and see. I mean, I could. You guys know monetarily, I'm not in the best situation as I would like to be, but I do have a few grand available.
Honestly,
And like, I see that unit, and I'm like, man, I don't know if I should try to pull the trigger on that or not. But it
2
looks
days
like a
left
great
with
unit.
850. I could see it going between $5,000 and $18,000.
Yeah,
You know, like
I'm gonna
I think
watch
it's
it
gonna
just
go
because I'm
crazy.
curious. But I
Yeah.
mean, it'd be amazing to catch somebody slipping on that and
Yeah,
get
no,
it for
I
a
would
grand.
if it were me personally, I'd put in a bid at the last second for $2,000 and have like a 0.5% chance of winning. Just
Yeah.
because you know it's gonna go super high. But for on that off chance that it doesn't, I don't know. You might make I don't know. Maybe Keith would know a little bit better, but man, that stuff it could be worth $5,000. It could be worth 150,000. You know, it's just hard,
Yeah.
better photos.
Yeah. I mean, if it's a player issued award, that maybe those balls were all Steelers game balls. After we're done recording, Shane, send me an image of it. Not that I'm going to be bidding against you. I'll try to give you my advice on like if I can zoom a little bit better on my phone.
Yeah, I'll
as to what
send you a
those game
link
balls
to
are.
the actual unit so you can see
Yeah.
all the photos and all that. But I was just scrolling through and I was like, holy cow, I got to show this to the guys because you guys
Yeah.
are more sports guys than I am. So I knew you two in my little circle are probably the guys I would reach out to about sports anyways. So
I had a
Yeah.
pretty shady sales manager at a like internet and TV hookup sales job, and he eventually got fired. But when he got fired, he started his own sports memorabilia. It was like a physical shop, and he did a lot online. And he was like, I saw him like at a Walmart in St. George the other day because I was visiting. He's like, "Yeah, man, I'm a millionaire now. It's pretty sick." Just like, he's like,
Nice.
I'm doing like 150 grand a month. It's sick. I'm like, dude, that's awesome.
It's wild.
So, there's a lot of money in it for sure.
Well, guys,
My
something I
headache-
tune in next week to see if Shane scores that unit. We'll figure out the
Yeah.
we'll hook on next week. We'll update on that.
I could use a big win, man. That would be
Yeah.
if I could get that for a good price. I'm gonna jump on it, but we'll see.
You know what's
Yeah.
funny on those game balls? I collect them. I have like probably 3 dozen Eagles game balls.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And I had one not an Eagles ball, like a player who won the Heisman, non-Eagle. I posted it for sale on eBay years ago. And the guy reached out to me, the player, reached out to me and said, oh, this ball was stolen from my house in Florida, wherever it was. Workers took it. So I actually just sent him the ball. I didn't ask for anything from him. And then I posted, and I've learned my lesson doing this. I posted one of my Eagles game balls on Instagram, and somebody tagged the player, and that player reached out to me and said that ball was stolen by workers in his house. So as like a reseller, when you have something that's like,
wow, that's
yeah,
tough.
yeah, when you have something that like, belonged to a person, but like a lot of my balls came from like storage units. I buy on eBay, and people got it from a storage unit, but like you have done no way of proving where you got it, and that guy has no way, So it's like I'm obliged to just give him back the item because it probably was taken. Who knows? But I just know now not to show that kind of stuff that was owned by people previously because
Yeah.
I have an eBay sale, but what does
Unless
that prove?
unless of course you really start making money on Facebook. Because I posted a photo. This was before I got remonetized, like 11 or 13 months ago, about a year ago. I don't know why I didn't just say a year ago, but I posted one video and it paid me $1,800 for that one, not video, just a photo. I can't remember what the photo was. I think I was just at a flea market and there was like a bunch of Disney stuff and Mario stuff and a ton of stuff, and people were just commenting like crazy and sharing it. And so it's like if you post that game ball and that photo goes semi-viral, you can make $1,800 off of the photo alone.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's tough to get to that point. Like Facebook, I feel like it's harder to grow at the beginning, and then if you figure it out, it's way more exponential than YouTube. In my
I've never.
experience.
I'm on Facebook barely. I've never posted anything on there. I should get more.
Well, Kevin, for example, he has what, like 80,000 subscribers on his Flipper channel, and then maybe like I haven't checked in a while, but maybe like 140 on his picker. On Facebook, he has over 500,000. Like it's wild. Yeah. Oh, Shane's out.
I think he was frozen there a little bit. Maybe he's coming back in.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Shane's been a bit glitchy the last few times.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
But yeah, do you have a Facebook? I know you do Instagram. I mean, I've probably already asked you this and I forgot.
I do. Yeah. I'm barely on it. I really only go on for like marketplace, and I'm going to start to sell a couple bigger items. I have like some tables and some large lots on Facebook, but I haven't done that yet. So
it sucks. I haven't sold a ton of stuff on Facebook recently, but we're putting a home gym in my in-laws' house. They have a huge wood shop underneath their garage. And so we're selling all of the wood shop items on Facebook, and I got tasked with that because I know how to do it.
Yeah.
And so we have like a Delta lathe and a jointer and all of these huge pieces of equipment that we're selling for, $5,000, $2,000. I just get dozens of messages every single day and no actual real interest. We finally sold a lathe, but one guy, he got the address and everything. And I'm like, yeah, sweet. Just come in. And on Friday, we were talking on a Wednesday. And then 30 minutes before showing up, he called me and he's like, Jake, sorry. I'm in trouble with the IRS. I owe him money, so I'm not going to be able to buy it from you. I'm like, oh my gosh, dude. Gotta love it.
I used to do woodworking.
I'm like, how lucky that the IRS called you 30 minutes before making that purchase to let you know that you owe them $20,000. Good job, man. That was luck. Gotta love it.
Yeah.
But wild. It's totally worth it selling on Facebook. You just have to deal with a lot of crap.
Yeah, I'm sure you get more. I mean, there's annoying people everywhere on eBay, but it sounds like I think Facebook has a lot more that's probably will come along with that.
Terrible for that. I sold all of my woodworking. I used to have a woodworking business that I did on the side, and I was fortunate enough to find one guy who bought everything. That was such an easy transaction.
Yeah. Just nice, like 15 grand or however much.
Yeah, yep. He just came and cleaned me out, got everything. I mean, everything down to all the stain and paints that I had left. I was like, just take it all. But I mentioned to you guys about this China cabinet that I put up on Facebook Marketplace. I also put up a Gorilla Cart, which is like a big wagon, like farm use wagon, holds like 600 pounds. It's like a $600 wagon, and I posted it on Facebook Marketplace. The China cabinet for free. I've gotten tons and tons of messages because free items always go quick.
Yeah.
but I have somebody locked in to come pick that up today. But the wagon, I've had so many people that send me offers. They're like, would you take this and this and this? And every single one of them has been a legitimate offer. And I'm like, yep, I'll take that, come pick it up. And then I never hear back from them.
Yeah.
Never. So there's a guy just messaged me since we started this show and said, hey man, are you available this afternoon? I can come get it. And I said, yeah, we'll see if he shows up. So far we haven't had any luck, but I've always hated selling on Facebook Marketplace. Not because of things like that. That really doesn't bother me. It's no different than eBay. People, message you and then you never hear back once you answer their questions and stuff. But there's so many scammers, at least in the marketplace here in my area, that as soon as you say, yeah, I'll take that price, or whatever, then they're like, hey, send me your phone number and your Zelle and all this crap. And
Well, they'll be like,
that's
check
like
out this
90.
email on Venmo. It says I paid you $450. Where do you want to meet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's that more than anything else in my area, at least for me. Maybe because the stuff I post on there is not really junk. I usually post quality items like this gorilla cart. It's a $600 cart, and I'm asking $450 for it. Those are the big ticket items people are trying to get for free. Basically, they're trying to scam people. You don't really see that if you're selling precious moments,
Have you guys sold any of that big kind of stuff on just eBay local pickup? As far as like the success rate of that versus like doing a marketplace deal?
No, I'm always surprised by how many local pickup requests I get, though. Like a lot of people, even in St. George, where we only had, 55,000 people in our city, I got like, I don't know, 5 or 6 a year saying, hey, I live in Washington. Can I come pick this up? Yeah, sure. Cool.
I've had that
Nothing
happen
big, though.
one time, and it was that ugly face jug I told you guys about. That
Oh, yeah.
lady asked me if I'd meet her, but I sold a set of golf clubs, full set of irons. The matter of fact, the ones that I was talking about recently, where I said, we were talking about people not willing to pay up, and I said, well, I paid $800 for these clubs, with a lot of people wouldn't have done, but I sold them for $1,200. Well, I sold them to a guy who lives about 20 minutes away from me, and I sold them on eBay. And I was thinking the whole time, I was like, dude, you could have saved us both a lot of time and money had you just hit me up on Facebook or something. Because, Soda City Flips is on Facebook. He maybe didn't think to look for that, but he could have hit me up on Facebook or something and said, hey, man, I want to get those clubs you got on eBay.
Yeah.
It saved us both a lot of time and money.
Yeah. When I was single and I had more space, I actually did a lot on Facebook. I would sell couches and tables and stuff, and I feel like there are less issues with like couches and tables than this wood shop equipment. But yeah, I would like go pick up couches and sectionals and lazy boys for free, or up to like $100, and then sell them for hundreds and stuff. It was pretty nice. And then I got a Bassett. I think I've told this story before, but my wife and I, we got like a $7,000 couch for free on Facebook, and then we used it for a ton, like our whole time in St. George, and then we just sold it when we moved up here for like 1,000 or something. And it was sweet. The guy's just like, oh yeah, no, my wife, she thought she ordered a 9-seater and this is only 7, so yeah.
This was pretty new. Oh wow.
No, it was brand new. And I'm like, why don't you return this? And he's like, oh, we just wanted to bless someone. I'm like, well, you sure did, bro. Like, thank you so much. That's insane, bro.
I couldn't imagine wanting 9 people on one couch. That's a lot of people in one area.
Well, dude, when you live in Utah and the average family has 6 kids, not average, but a ton of families have 6 kids. But yeah, Facebook Marketplace. Good luck in your ventures on Facebook coming up. You said you got like a ton. Do you have like a ton of pieces or just a couple?
Well, I was going to try to do like, I have probably 2,000 or 3,000 wood bats in the warehouse. I was going to try to do like a lot of 100 wood bats, right? And just, I mean, to a reseller, happy to give a deal, but I'm not going to try to do that on eBay or anywhere else, unless I did local pickup. But
I mean, you got 6 million people right around you, and you got 30 million people within 2 hours. I think it'd be worth it where you're at.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
because even the people in New York City, I mean, Philly's only an hour and a half away. You
Yeah.
know, it's not hard to get over there
Might
and
try
grab
it.
something if it's worth it.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, you'll have to let us know too, because that could be a pretty good hack.
Yeah.
You know.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, I got guys. Online sourcing has been going amazing. I haven't been sourcing out in the wild since Tuesday of last week. I didn't even go to yard sales because I went to the lake. I went to the thrift store for the first time in a while this morning. I got 4 of these iPads for $15 each. They sell for about 50 to 70 for parts, and a couple hundred if they work. I've charged 2 of the 4. This one opens up, but it does have an account attached to it, unfortunately. So we'll sell that for $50. This one, though, oh yeah.
Oh, that's a start screen.
And then we got 2 more. This one actually just turned on 1%. This one has an account on it. And let's see if this 4th one is charged yet. This one's got an account too. So $150 for those 3, and then $150 for the 4th one that doesn't have an account. $60 into 300. I'll take it.
Heck
That's
yeah,
awesome.
man.
I barely source online at all anymore, other than I do buy vintage clothing and stuff on District or on Whatnot a little bit. But I did buy an expensive piece on eBay this week. Let me see if I can pull it up, because I bought this for the National, and it's let's see if I can share my screen.
ABC Matt hit me up yesterday. Let me see if you guys, I don't know basketball, so I don't know who this was, but let me see. He texted me a picture and I'll show it to you guys. Derek Lively, the second, maybe?
Yeah. He's on the Mavericks. I actually saw
third.
this post that you're talking about.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, he texted me and he said, "Hey man, I picked this up for how much did he say? $39." He sold us autograph 11 of 25. 2023-24 Panini Flawless. Derek Lively, Mavericks, RPA. $500 he got for it.
Nice.
Yeah, that's insane.
He paid
Derek Lively is not a
39.
big time name at all.
Come on.
Like,
Yeah, that's
like
nice.
right
nice
now,
deal.
he's probably a top 120 player in the NBA. And I think in 5 or 6 years, he'll be like a top 50. I don't think he'll ever be a top 20. So
Yeah.
$500, that's really good for Derek.
Yeah, and he only paid $39 for it. So he didn't say where he sourced it from, but you know, he lives in like a high rise, so he doesn't have a whole lot of room. So that's the kind of he deals a lot in gold and silver and things like that, and cards. So he does like to buy his glass. He likes his glass, but he doesn't have a ton of room, so he does a lot with cards. And I know he sent in a ton of, I think it was Star Wars cards he had to golden auctions, and his cards were selling for thousands each. So he's doing something right, finding the right stuff.
Yeah, even if you're paying a couple hundred to turn it into a couple thousand. That's what I did right now. I just barely got 114 cameras today.
Oh wow.
Nice.
I paid over $2,500, just under $2,500 for them. I think they'll make me, I don't know, 6,000 or 7,000 before fees and stuff. So after custom goods and everything, I'll like 2.5 times my money, 1.5 times my money.
But I mean, their cameras and the sell-through rate on cameras is generally better than a lot of stuff we do source. So that should be not only 2.5 times, but pretty quickly.
Exactly, and that's why. So I had to pay up for them, obviously. My average is like what, $25. Some of them I had to pay $40 for or whatever, 30-ish. But yeah, they'll probably sell within 60 days, every single one of them. So
yeah.
And then this is a contact that hopefully I'm able to rinse and repeat at least quarterly.
It's good to have that connection. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the quilt that I showed, I bought that because I'll show you again, because it's it has a Joe Jackson. Where is it?
Oh, that's sweet.
It's a Joe Jackson like B18 felt. That's a 1914 like Joe Jackson card. So I'm gonna take that out of the quilt. I didn't pay that $12.95. I paid like $1,100 for it. But that Joe Jackson, Shoeless Joe, that piece sells for like 2,000 to 2,500.
Oh yeah.
So I'm
And
going
you
to
think
take that
there's going
out.
to be multiple like 50, 80, $100 pieces on it?
There will be. I mean, some of those other there's like 8 blankets on there, like that Joe Jackson piece. So they have lesser value, but I'm going to take them off and then sell the quilt as it is in my antique shop, get some money back out of the quilt,
That's
and
dope.
probably double up on the Shoeless Joe. So since with him
That's
and
cool.
more in the news lately, that always helps.
What was he in the news for?
He got reinstated, him and Pete Rose.
Oh, nice.
Oh, that's
yeah,
right.
so,
Yeah, I did
yeah.
hear that.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Did
just-
they ever end up taking away any of Michael Phelps' medals?
I don't think so. Did they?
I don't think they did.
Yeah, that's good. Because yeah, marijuana was a huge deal back then. Now it's like, but I mean, I guess what's her face, the runner, had some issues with marijuana too. So I guess it still is an issue.
Yeah, it's funny
Yeah.
too because with Phelps, that all that stuff happened here in Columbia. When he got brought out or whatever, it was he was here in Columbia and at the University of South Carolina when all that stuff was going on and he was getting caught. And I was like, oh, great way to show off our state, with all that crap going on.
Yeah,
It was pretty funny though.
Yeah, I guess those kind of people have a lot more issues with like doping and what do you call it, like performance enhancing than like recreational drugs. That doesn't.
I mean,
that's not going to probably help you in terms of training. I'm assuming.
Right.
But hey, at least you're not from Wisconsin. They gotta say, oh yeah, Jeffrey Dahmer lived here.
That's true. Yeah.
You just had Michael Phelps smoking a little bit of weed from a hookah. So.
Yeah, exactly. That's funny though.
Good stuff. For the first time in my eBay career, I had a little bit of a death pile, and got rid of it on yesterday and the day before. I just did reseller lots on First Class Treasures, and yeah, I've never had a death pile, and it sucked. So got rid of it quick.
Yeah, I wish I had that. I wish it was a couple sales and get rid of my death pile. It'd be refreshing.
You'd have to do a few. You'd have to do a few hundred.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Especially if you're selling like ephemera one at a time. Oh, that would, like, honestly, you will die with some of that stuff.
Oh yeah.
Sure. Like,
I mean, I do know some people who would want to buy the whole warehouse full of inventory.
Yeah, that's true.
So I mean that I could move it, but again, it's not I'll just slowly eat.
Some people have a 401k. You have a couple $100,000 of inventory in a warehouse that you can just sell for retirement.
Yep. Exactly. I don't know why I'm spending $1,100 on a quilt when I have that, but you need some like key pieces at the National, right? A little Shoeless Joe helps. So
yeah, I think if I was gonna take my time to set up at the largest, convention of its kind, I'd probably want the best pieces I could take with me.
They call that Rolexology. You ever heard of that?
Yeah. No, but it sounds legit to me.
Yeah, so watch shops, like if you bring in like an Omega or an Invicta worth like $3,000, then they'll only give you like $1,000 to maybe $1,500 for it. But if you bring in a $10,000 Rolex, they'll give you $9,500 for it just because they can display it and people are going to come in and look at it and then hear, oh my gosh, I can't afford this for $11,000. Oh, but that Omega for $4,500 looks good, and then they buy it, So
I watched this dude on I don't know if it's TikTok or where I see him at all the time, but he's in New York City, I believe, and that's what he does. He buys and flips Rolexes and high-end watches, and he'll be walking down the street and he's like, just picked up this, whatever it is for $9,000 or $20,000 or $40,000, whatever he paid for it. And he's like, we're going to go sell it over here to so-and-so, and he'll end up only making 500 to 1,000 off of it. But he just bought it 5 minutes ago. So like he's flipped it just like that, but he's good at it. He knows all the different, dealers and stuff and shops in New York, and man, he flips them within minutes and does it every single day, all day long.
That's awesome.
I follow a guy on YouTube who he's worth like $500 million at this point out of Miami. He's like, no, yeah, I started with one Omega watch and I've turned it into a 57 employee corporation. It's pretty sick. Yeah, watches are insane. You can make really good money, and you can make really good money with low end watches. I sell low end watches between $15 and $80 every single day.
Yeah,
I've got one here. I mean, it's no Rolex or anything, but this is Luxor, man, and it's
You almost
a.
sold that on First Class Treasures for $2.
Yeah, I had people telling me to run it, but it's an $1,800 watch, and I've got 200 into it. And the only reason it's still sitting here is because I got to find time to take it and get a new battery put in it. I don't have the tools to do it.
Yeah.
And I keep, it's one of those, it sits over there. It's black, same color as my desk. I just never look at it. And I forget to take it with me anytime I leave the house, because anytime I'm out, I could go find somewhere and get a battery put in. I just forget. But yeah, so like I told him, I was like, yeah, I'll run it, starting bid 200 and see where it goes, because that's what I got in it. But yeah, I wasn't willing to do it for $1.
No,
Yeah.
definitely not.
On a lesser extent, I'm selling a Homer Simpson watch on Dibdit Sunday night at 7 o'clock. So
Oh, there you go. There you go.
there you go. Not quite the same degree of watch, I'm sure.
I found a Omega woman's watch at a yard sale for 25 cents. Have it listed
wow.
for $200. That should be a pretty good return there.
There you
yeah.
go. Yeah.
I have two 10 karat gold watches. So Lindsay's grandmother passed away. We talked about that last week. After her mother and her sister went through all the jewelry, they gave me everything else. And there's two 10 karat gold watches in there. One's a Belova and one's a Geneva.
Are they
And
gold? They're 10 karat.
10 karat, yeah.
So they're probably gold plated. Does it say like RPG or R?
No, 10
Roll
10K. One
RGB?
of them is rolled gold.
Yeah.
The other one is just straight 10 karat. The Belova is 10 karat. The Geneva, I believe, is the one that says rolled gold. But there's tons of gold earrings, gold necklaces, gold rings, silver, stuff like that. Now that stuff I am considering running live, just because I don't know much about jewelry. I know the melt weight, I could take it in, but I thought about it, running that on live show.
Yeah, no,
So,
it always goes, like the gold stuff always goes well, even if it's only 10 karat rolled gold plated. It does
yeah,
super well.
yeah.
I just sold a little bracelet on First Class Treasures yesterday or the day before. It was 925R, which means it's 925 silver and then it's rose gold plated.
Oh wow.
Okay.
So yeah, it was really nice.
Interesting.
So I threw that up. People got really excited. It went for like about eBay comps, which was great. So
Nice.
but yeah, people get really excited. They hear 10, like, because like the Geneva that you're talking about, it's probably only worth like $40 to $60. But people
Yeah.
hear 10 karat gold. And if you do your research, like 10 karat gold rolled plated is like maybe 3% gold. So
Yeah.
like it's like close to no gold, but people just like get really excited about it. But if the Beluva is 10 karat gold, 10 karat gold isn't super fine, like 24 karat, but that's still
Yeah.
probably like a $400 or $500 watch.
Yeah. And it's cool. It's I wish I had it in front of me to show you the band or the bracelet they call them on ladies' watches. They have a specific name for it, and I forget what it is, but it's super dope, man. It's almost like have you ever seen what those rock tumblers do to rocks? They make them all shiny and
Yeah.
cool looking. That's what it looks like the band is full of, is tumbled stones. I forget what they call it whenever I was doing research, but it's really dope looking watch.
Yeah, that's cool.
And it's vintage from, I believe, the 50s.
That's not mother of pearl, is it? Is that what that is?
No, it's not mother of pearl. It's all
Okay.
different colors.
Okay.
Mother of pearl is such a good keyword for
Yeah.
your eBay listings. So good.
That reminds me, do you guys remember seeing that toothpaste commercial when the teacher's in front of the class and she's like, what color's my this? What color's my that? And the kids are all blue, red. And then she's like, what color are my teeth? And the kids are like, yellow, mother of pearl, and yelling all these. And she's like super embarrassed about it or whatever. But you just said mother of pearl.
Never saw that.
Yeah, that it reminded me of that because one of the kids yells out, mother of pearl. But yeah, she wanted to hear white, and they said yellow and everything else. So.
Dude, one time when I was in elementary school, my friend wrote Colgate. Like, he just wrote him a letter saying, hey, I'm in first grade. I love your business and your toothpaste. Thanks for being an awesome company. And they just sent him free toothpaste. And so that night I went home And I started writing Pokemon, and I started writing Hostess donuts, everything that I liked. I just started writing them letters. I didn't get anything. I was pissed.
Oh,
That's
that's
funny.
funny.
But yeah,
Hey,
it's so
you
funny.
gotta shoot your shot, right? That's what they
Yeah,
say.
I'm like, Nintendo, I love your guys' company, especially the GameCube. It is so awesome. I wish I had one. Thanks for being a great company. Love you, bye. Didn't get a GameCube out of it though.
On the
Speaking of
jewelry front, okay, you go.
oh,
You go, Jay.
I was just gonna say, speaking of Nintendo, I believe the Switch came out at midnight
The
Oh
Switch
yeah,
last.
people
2.
are lining up for that.
Switch 2, yeah.
Yeah.
A few weeks ago during the pre-order, I had to go to GameStop. Matter of fact, it was for Hops and Hits that we do once a month with.
Oh, he's frozen again.
Oh, left for a second.
Talk about your jewelry.
Yeah, so I was gonna say I had an issue with selling I bought a collection of like, let me see, there's little college charms, right? And they're
Yeah.
only like they're like a centimeter long. Can't even see it. They're so small. But probably bought like 4,000 of these, all different schools, for like $200, and I sell them like every day almost for like 15 each,
Oh,
all the different schools.
that's awesome.
Yeah, but like they're so small, and I show like the picture of them on in my Etsy listings or eBay listings on top of a ruler. But I still don't think people realize how small they are, despite me showing it on a ruler.
Yeah.
I've had two people, like I put them in a like a baseball card sleeve, tape it down on top of a business card, and two people say, "Oh, the charm isn't in the package," because they don't. I think they just throw the package away because it's so small.
Yeah.
So I was wondering if I buy it. It might be some sort of red flag if I buy a ton of those tiny little plastic bags, like a dime bag, that like a drug dealer would use, and put them in there. But I'm wondering if like that's going to put me on some sort of a watch list if I buy a ton of.
You'd be good. I buy a ton of them for AirPods. So.
Oh, okay. Oh, they sell them. Okay, I got to look them up. What do they call that? Just on
I
like
just
Amazon?
type into eBay. I just type into eBay the measurement that I want, 4 milled clear bag. So like you'd probably want like just like a 2x2 bag.
Yeah, or
Like
if they made it
2x2
1x1.
4 milled clear bag.
Okay, I'm gonna do that. Yeah, because that'll save me the. I mean, it's only a couple times it's happened, but still,
Yeah,
it's
you can get away with 2 mil, but it's not as thick, and so
4 mil. Okay, good to know.
Maybe even 8 mil if you want, but that'd be pretty thick, and more expensive.
Yeah, I probably don't need it. Yeah,
but and honestly, instead of the ruler, maybe you can just put a dime in the picture with it, so people can see like the size comparison compared to a dime.
that's true.
I feel like more people are like artsy and emotional than they are logical and scientific. So
that's true. That'd be smart, or even a penny, since pennies are going out of existence.
Exactly.
Nostalgia there, right?
Say you'll include the penny.
There we go. Yeah.
So
have you guys over on First Class Treasures? I know you have the cross marketplace rating now. Has that been happening a lot?
Yeah, it's been going good. Yeah, they've been growing a lot because of it, so it's good stuff.
That's cool. Yeah, I haven't really been on District much the past week, other than the card stuff.
How's it been going?
Pretty good. Yeah, just doing the breaks and stuff. I have a break tonight that I'm doing football, and I'm doing a big baseball break in a couple. June 22nd, Sunday night.
That's good. I feel like breaks are pretty anti-summer slowdown.
Yeah.
Summer slowdown is real on static platforms, unless of course you just have AirPods and cameras. You don't be affected by it. But like live sales, it slows way down just because people can go to yard sales and stuff.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
But breaks, there's just always that. Oh no, I have to get the newest box because there's a $1,200 card in there, and I can.
Yeah, a little bit of the gambling aspect, right? And we're doing cheap breaks there. There are breaks on Whatnot that are like $1,000 buy-ins, and these are like I start every auction at $1, whatever it brings, it brings. So, it is what it is. But
so if you do basketball in the future, like the Mavericks will go for $200 or $300, while the Celtics, who don't even have really a first round pick, will probably just go for like $20 or less.
Yeah. So right now the big teams are Chicago and the Washington. They're the big ones that they pay off your break. But I'm doing a cool one in the baseball break. I always do a little vintage flair given my name. So I have in the baseball break, I'm doing a Bowman baseball break, but I'm in that break. I have a 1957 top set break that has one PSA 7 or greater card in it. I don't. It's a mystery box.
Yeah, those
So
are
it comes
cool.
from a company. So I mean, it could be a mantle, it could be maze.
You almost
So
always lose, but there's some fun ones for sure.
I hit a mantle on one of them.
Oh, that. Oh, yeah,
66.
you
Yeah,
told me said that.
yeah.
Yeah,
But
that's the
usually,
best.
yeah, you're right. Usually it's a common. So hopefully not. We'll see.
So you do like a lot of retail, right? Not really hobby box.
I've done one hobby. I mean, I'm happy to do a hobby. I just don't think that marketplace is ready for like. Maybe
Yeah,
it
I think
is.
that's
Maybe it
it.
is. But I think they're trying to keep it
I'm about to catch you
lower.
guys. You guys better hurry. I
You
was
do it.
no did cards. I was like 300 members behind you guys this morning. I think I'm only like 26. So get on
Oh
it.
wow, yeah. I don't even know where the members are. I'm not in that. But yeah, it was that. How
Dude,
many members does first class?
first class treasure is growing so fast because
Well,
I guess because I'm an admin, I get notified every time
I
somebody
get it too.
joins, and I mean
Yeah.
it's freaking. And
well,
guys, I don't know what's going on with StreamYard. My internet's not going down, but StreamYard keeps going black, and then it disconnects me.
you were midway through a story on that.
I know,
Yeah,
and then I it locked up on me. And I was like, you know what? They'll be
I
by
was
the time
wondering,
this
like,
thing
does
reboots.
it show him on his end? Like, does he just keep talking? You know?
yeah.
Yeah, no, everything goes black. So it'll start off by you guys and me. The
Mhm.
screens go black, and then there's like a little spinny wheel of death, and
Yeah.
then the whole thing kicks me off completely. And I'm like, what the? I look at my internet still connected to the computer, my router's good. So it used to do this when I was using StreamYard. It would do this during my live shows sometimes. It never kicked me off like that, but it would go black for a few seconds and then it would fix itself. But yeah, it's the first time and it's done it twice already. So I don't know. My
It
apologies.
probably knows
Well,
the AI and streamer probably knows you're an EV Mux shiller
Yeah.
out there. So.
Yeah.
I'm yeah. I'm pretty excited about first class treasures this week. So Michigan Reseller, he's doing a huge video game and sealed Pokemon live on Friday. So you guys will be
Cool.
hearing this on Monday. So be ready for Friday. I think it's going to be like a $10,000 show.
It's like sealed packs or boxes, or what's he selling?
Yeah, no, he's got a
Pokemon?
ton of Pokemon Prismatic and
Oh wow.
the one with Mew on it that sells for like 180 to 200 on eBay. He's got a ton of those. But Deal Soldier, who now they now have 30, it's like 28,000 members. They're gonna let me advertise that show and first class treasures to the community. And not to be arrogant, but I'm kind of a local celebrity over there at Deal Soldier. So I think there's going to be a huge influx of members coming to first class.
That'd be
treasures.
killer, man.
Yeah, they're going to
awesome.
advertise
Good
it
for
on
you.
Monday and Friday, so it should be good.
When is that? When is the Pokemon show? I know
It's
not a lot of Pokemon.
Friday, so not tomorrow for us, but next Friday. So 5 days.
So the 13th,
5 or 6 days. Yeah.
Okay.
Friday the 13th. Oh wow.
Whoa,
Oh, it is. Oh
There you go.
man.
Everyone
You
said
guys
that
seen
when I was
my
a kid. I thought that Friday the 13th was so rare. It happens like every single year. I swear.
I know, right?
It's like,
It's
every
you kind of
17
expect
years,
it
the
to be
goblins
in
and ghouls come to town. It's like, dude,
Yeah.
it's every 17
you
months.
expect it to fall in October too, and it seems to never do that.
Maybe that's what it is. Like, it only happens in October every 17 years.
I've got that freaking killer Jason Voorhees
Drinking
movie
electrolytes.
prop
I gotta
mask.
pee.
Yep. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but it's a New Line Productions Jason Voorhees mask. It's an actual movie prop used in.
Oh, I did see that in one of your videos on the shelf.
Yeah. Yep. It was used in one of the movies, and I cannot believe that thing hasn't sold yet. I even dropped the price to $190 just to get somebody to pull the trigger, and nothing, man. It's like a $400 mask.
That's wild that it hasn't.
Yeah.
I know somewhere in the warehouse there's two things that are movie props. There's a what's the other like sort of sci-fi vintage TV show that was out like maybe the 60s. Really blanking on, not like the one where not a time machine, but something like that kind of ilk of movie or show. But there's like a prop from that show somewhere in the warehouse. And then I found I think you froze again, Shane. So I'm just being by myself for now. But I also have a Tom, like there comes Jake, but a Tom Hanks movie, Forrest Gump game worn football jersey somewhere in the warehouse too. What's up? Shane froze again. Only a second ago, so I was still trying to talk amongst myself.
Some people's children, dude.
Yeah. What I was just saying was I found a certificate of authenticity in the warehouse for a Forrest Gump football jersey, get like a movie worn football jersey
Oh, that's
from the
dope.
movie, but I don't know where the jersey is. I have a certificate somewhere in the warehouse. I think is the jersey.
Is it
So
Tom Hanks or is it just one of the extras?
probably one of the extras. Yeah, the
Yeah.
Alabama. I think it's an Alabama jersey. Like that's
Oh,
where he's
okay.
supposed to be playing, right? Alabama, I
Yeah.
believe. Yeah. So that'd be
But
fun
it's
to
just
find
the
that.
certificate. You don't have the jersey.
Yeah, I think the jersey's probably in there, but I didn't find it yet. There's a
Because
lot of.
if you sell just the certificate, it'll probably just go to a scammer that has
Oh
like
yeah, yeah. No, I
a
won't do that.
replica.
Yeah,
You know.
I have it up on my bulletin board just so whenever I see the jersey, I know where it is. But
Yeah.
so I would say 50% of the boxes we've never opened. So I think it's probably somewhere in there.
Gotta be.
So, yeah.
Well, you'll be getting a few more boxes when you go steal that storage unit from Shane. So.
Yeah. I'm jealous it's not local, but I won't do that. But that looks like a killer buy.
How far is North Carolina from you? Wait, South Carolina from you? That's probably only
Uh,
like a 6-hour drive, right?
I would say maybe 8 to 10, maybe.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
One time I drove, I had a big sports memorabilia buy that I made in Charlotte, North Carolina, and I flew to Charlotte, rented a car,
And then drove back.
met the guy, and then drove back. I was gonna fly back, but I had like 6 more hours to wait for the flight, so I just drove back.
Yeah.
But that's the last time I've driven there. But I think Shane's a little bit further than Charlotte.
Do you ever like go to Florida?
Disney, yeah, no,
Disney?
no sourcing, but yeah,
Do you
I think
fly or drive?
I prefer to drive. My wife prefers to fly. So the last time we
Yeah.
flew, yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah,
I like a good old drive.
me
That's
too.
like what? So if South Carolina is 8 to 10, to Florida it'd probably be like what, 16, 17 hours?
It is, yeah, yeah. We made it the last time we went. I drove from Philly to St. Augustine,
Mm-hmm.
and then we stayed there at night, then hit Disney the next day.
Yeah.
So
The
not a
longest
bad drive.
drive I've ever made was from Jacksonville, Florida, all the way to St. George, and I
Oh, wow.
planned on just sleeping for a night in like the edge of Texas, but I made it all the way to New Mexico, and I was in my truck and I had a mattress in the back of it, so I was just gonna like camp in Albuquerque.
Yeah.
But then I laid down and I tried to fall asleep for 20 minutes and I couldn't, so I just pounded the rest of the drive, 27 hours, with just like five
Wow.
or six 20-minute breaks.
Phew, man, that's wild.
Yeah.
And
It was
sometimes just
pretty nice.
resting your eyes for a little bit helps, I guess. That 20
Yeah.
minutes, just not staring at the road.
I mean, I was probably drinking like 1,200 milligrams of caffeine, so
Yeah, yeah. It's hard to get settled down to
I just
sleep
had
at
a
that point.
monster ready the whole trip. So yeah, I was
Yeah.
wired for sure.
Yeah, I'll be driving to Chicago in July, so I drive that straight through. Other than we hit some antique shops on the way out,
Uh-huh.
and the last couple times we hit a couple private picks that we set up, but I'll probably just drive. We'll skip them, just drive straight out. It's not get bad going out, but the drive home when you're like, you're at the show all day, you're packing my van up throughout. Yeah, after the show's over, it's like a grueling day, and then you're driving. So we don't make it too far on Sunday. We get to like Toledo, I think, and then
Yeah.
stay in Toledo.
I like Toledo. I almost
Yeah.
opened a pest control branch in Toledo.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Massive antique shop in Toledo. I forget what that's called, but it's like one of the biggest ones I've ever been in. If you're ever out there again,
Yeah.
sourcing wise.
Toledo's cool.
Yeah.
It's Ohio, I like everyone
Yeah.
talks crap on Ohio. I really like Ohio.
Oh, I love it. Yeah, I love it.
I
mean,
don't love
that's
Cleveland, but the rest of Ohio's sweet.
yeah. I know I'm sort of dreading the Chicago show though, because when we break down and we move out, the last couple times I was there, they let you drive your van or your truck or whatever you have into the show floor, like 2 hours after the show ends. But that's like 6, 7 o'clock at night. We want to be on the road by then.
Mm-hmm.
So I usually like hand cart everything out to my van, but my van is parked across the street across a 4-lane highway. So I'm like rolling giant carts of merchandise. It's like an episode of Frogger on Seinfeld. I'm trying to move this thing across a 4-lane highway.
Yeah.
Pretty nerve wracking.
Or you could just discount everything by 10% on the hour every hour, and then everything that's left just bulk sell to another vendor that's closer.
Oh yeah, no, I'd love to do that. I'd love to
Yeah.
do that, but
Easier said than done. That won't always present itself, but that would be sweet.
I've had a couple times where dealers try to, like an auction company tried to buy the whole booth. It didn't really happen, but
Was it early and they were saying like 20% of what you wanted?
we never got down the numbers. He asked what I would take, and I didn't give him a number because it's hard to know what the whole booth is worth
Yeah.
without doing a lot of tabulations at that point. So I think this one I'm gonna pack a little easier because I'm gonna go pretty vintage clothing heavy.
Yeah.
Because the last time I did it in Cleveland, I did really well with clothing. There was no one else selling it, and clothing's so much easier. You just take it off the rack, pop it in a giant IKEA bag, and compared to like breakable stuff and everything else I would bring. So,
Dude, this feels like the vintage reseller island podcast days with Sonny when it was just him and I.
oh, yeah, it's a little different.
Shane's gone.
I don't know. Maybe he's trying to restart over there. I don't know what he's doing over there.
Yeah, who knows?
Let's see if he texted us.
Yeah, I know. Honestly, you and I had never like actually even, classified formally over the internet, but we didn't even really meet before this podcast. So.
No, that was the first time ever. I mean, we talked on the phone once, but that was the first time, our first pilot episode, right? That was first time, talking him face to face.
Yeah,
so,
we need to get Sonny on as a guest soon. It'll be fun.
Yeah, I love Sonny. I've never met him, never talked to him, but just seems like such a cool, like calm presence about him, like a calm aura.
Yeah, he's a genuine dude for sure.
Let's see. He sent me a thing where he can't even reach the page. So let's see. We almost said I'll invite. Oh, there he is. There he comes.
Welcome back. You're muted.
No audio, Shane, if you can hear us.
No, we can't hear you at all. That's funny. Technical difficulty. So it sounds like it's not even the internet. It's something to do with his, what's it called? StreamYard.
Yeah, which is weird. I don't know. I guess I could try to send him another invite, but it shouldn't. Oop, I thought I heard something. There he is.
All right, so I just got a notification from Spectrum, which, by the way, Spectrum sucks.
Oh, they're the worst, dude. Spectrum is so garbage.
So apparently they're working on it, so this is probably going to continue.
No worries.
That sucks.
Yeah.
Well, should we make a weekly segment called Jake's Triggering Viral Content of the Week?
Yeah, I want to hear about it.
I don't know if this one. I posted it right before the podcast. Let's see if it's doing decent on views or not. It's either going to be a boom or a flop. Let's see. Oh, it's a flop for sure. So the song "Sweet Caroline."
Yeah.
So I found a 45 of Sweet Cherry Wine. Do you guys know that song?
No.
Yeah, it's by. I listened to it on Spotify just to see what it was. I've never heard of it. But so it says Sweet Cherry Wine. And so I grab the 45 and I sing Sweet Caroline. Ba, ba, ba. And I'm like, oh, this is only $1. Unfortunately, it only sells for $7 on eBay. But would you have grabbed it to sell on eBay? And I'm just assuming that a ton of people would be like, you idiot, that's not the song. So I posted it to YouTube too. It has really bad views on Facebook so far.
How about your Walmart secret they don't want anybody to know about video?
Yeah, I recycle that all the time. So
that's an old one you've recycled. Yeah, I'd never seen it till the other day.
Oh really?
And
yeah, that one's
I was like, he's up to something. I know he is, but what is it? And then when it gets to the end and you reach back there behind us, I was like, this.
I'll probably do another one exactly like it, but then it'll have like a note that says Jeffrey Epstein didn't kill himself or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be good stuff. But yeah, no, I post that on TikTok like every 2 months, and it gets 1 million views every single time. So it's at 230,000 right now. I'm sure it'll get up to 1 million. And then that Gary V one I post every 2 months, and it gets over 1 million every single time too. And it pays the same every time. So I'm just gonna keep doing it until that well dries up.
Heck yeah.
I posted a TikTok of me opening a pack of 1980 hockey cards, and it's like it did well for me, but well for me is like 5,000 views, not a million views. That's like, whoa, that video is viral. But the card has like, this set has like a little scratch off thing on the bottom where the player's name would be.
Yeah.
So there's like, you have no idea who the player is unless it's a Gretzky or a big name player. So these people are like ripping me in the chat because I knew no one in the pack. I'm like, I don't know who that dude is. I don't know who that dude is. And they were like roasting me in the comments. So it's good.
Now, if you do pack opening videos, honestly, in the first 4 seconds, I would pronounce a name wrong on purpose. Because Shane's gone again, I think. Oh no, he's
all right. No,
I'm here. I'm just intently listening.
Yeah, because like you lose credibility or whatever, but on short form content, there's no freaking credibility. So
I thought that was Rod picking and punching's like secret because he always pronounces names horribly, but
yeah,
I think it's just. But even on his breaks, he does. I don't think it's a click thing. I think it's just how he pronounces them.
Me and him and Carrie talked about it a lot when we
did you?
hung out at the 127. So
maybe he does do it strategically then. I'm not sure.
Maybe, I don't know. But yeah, so Carrie does it by accident all the time. Like there's this player in the NBA back in the 80s and 90s. His name is Brad Daughtry, but he pulled a Brad Daughtry and he read it wrong. Dude, they were just letting him have it in the comments, and I went in there and like, you guys are making him money. You guys are making him money.
Yeah.
You know? So stupid. It's so funny.
I think it's Brad Daugherty, right? The dude who was drafted before Jordan. Is that the Jordan draft? Maybe I've always pronounced it wrong. I always thought it was Daugherty.
No, that's a different. There's
a different guy. Okay.
Yeah, Brad Daughtry is like a big, tall, like white guy.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, maybe I don't know how to pronounce his name then.
Yeah.
But yeah, no,
that's
I
insane
see that.
Jordan went third, man. I can't believe that.
Yeah.
It's insane.
It's wild.
Hopefully, the best player in this year's draft is the fifth picked player.
You were talking about the Sixers potentially swapping with Utah. Any more updates there?
Yeah, no, it's getting heavier and heavier that might happen. And yeah, I don't know. There's just a ton of different combinations of how it could happen. I think the Jazz. So, do you know Danny Ainge, right? Or are you not that invested in the basketball?
No, I know him. Yeah, I mean not personally, but I know of him. Yeah.
Yeah. We hang out on Tuesdays.
I sat 3 rows behind him at a Utah Baylor game. So, cool. So he's like one of the top GMs. Everyone knows him as being that guy that can sell a Pop-Tart for a decent player. So
yeah.
But his son, we actually just hired his son too. So his son worked for the Boston Celtics for like 14 years and was part of their championship rebuild. And he's doing a lot of press conferences right now saying, yeah, we're not tanking this year. Things are different this year. So everyone's like, oh, are we gonna freaking trade for the 3rd pick and Joel Embiid? That's not gonna happen though.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens. I mean, it's Sixers haven't been in that position for a while. I mean,
dude, you guys are always so good on paper, and then it's egos, man. Like egos. Like, dude, if Ben Simmons was a top 15 player, he was even without his shot, and if he would have just stuck with it. Even without his 3-point shot, he probably would have been like the 8th or 9th best player in the NBA today. Joel Embiid wouldn't have had as big of a load. He'd be a top 3 player. Kept Jimmy Butler.
Well, that's the key, the Butler deal. Because Butler, when they chose Tobias Harris over Butler, and then Simmons was gone later on. I mean, that killed the team. Because that was their best team. They had the triple doink with against Toronto. I totally forget the guy. That was a game. That was a brutal game.
This the dagger. Yeah, dude. That's heartbreaking, man.
Yeah. So that was the team. And after that, once Butler left, I mean, I love Butler. He's like a heart and soul of a team, right? I mean, he's an odd guy, but you got to love him as a player.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, I loved hearing about his days in the Timberwolves, where he'd take the end of the bench guys and whoop on.
Not
Anthony Edwards, Zach LaVine, and Karl Anthony Towns.
Yep. Well, even wasn't he was like a reseller almost at the in the COVID lockdown league. Wasn't he like selling coffee?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He would make he'd make cups of coffee and sell it to the other NBA players for like $80 a cup.
That's wild. Love it. Yeah, man. He's a reseller at heart.
Yeah, dude. I like Jimmy Butler. And he loves country music. Is like everyone's bumping hip hop during warm-ups, and he's got just country music blaring. It's funny.
Yeah. He's a beats to his own drum for sure.
Yeah. Shane has no idea what's going on in this part of the
No,
conversation.
I have no clue. I'm reading these outage. I don't know if you can see, but
Outage updates.
they're steadily sending. Yeah, apparently it's severe weather. I knew it's supposed to rain today, but I didn't know it was supposed to be bad. But I guess there's severe weather coming my way, but it's affecting my internet.
Huh. It's
So
weird that it like you have internet now, but you're getting alerts like it might be going out or
yeah,
I never.
I never, I could see the corner of my screen. I never actually lose internet, but it's clearly going down. It's done
Yeah.
it 3 times
It must
now.
just
So
like close off for a
weird.
second and then back or something. I don't know.
Yeah, but it's taken forever to get it. Like you saw the screenshot I sent you.
Yeah.
It says that I cannot get back to, StreamYard, so I don't know. It's weird, but I mean, I guess they're working on it. They know about it because they're notifying me. So I hate
It's doing good
Spectrum.
right now. Knock on wood.
Yeah, we're doing good.
Yeah,
Spectrum.
Spectrum's terrible, but unfortunately, living out here in the country, they're the only provider in my area.
Yeah, no other options.
Yeah.
Well, who's not terrible, Shane, is our members down below. They're not terrible.
That's right.
Right.
That's
Wow.
right.
Yeah.
They're
A little
amazing.
segue.
Transition king right
Yeah,
there.
I don't know if we have any more since last week. I should talk to Jake before we do this, so I know. But I did change Pipe Dreams or Reverie. Requested a name change. We got Pipe Dreams there. Eagles and Beagles. Caleb sells. Joe from Virginia. Sarah sells Smalls. Archie Biscuit Butt, and then the 3 of us, and then the anonymous member. I think at the end, right? Yep.
You think Sarah sells Smalls down by the seashore, whatever that thing used to say when we were kids?
She sells down by the seashore.
Yeah,
I bet she does. Yeah, that's a Smalls
down by the seashore.
Yeah.
I'm trying to see if we have any new members. But having an issue. My computer isn't turning on.
Uh-oh. Spectrum.
Yeah. mine keeps like I can hear you guys for a second, then it goes away, and I'm like,
oh man. That was perfect with the timing of that. Jake, are you frozen over there too, Jake?
No.
Oh no, okay, you're just very still. Okay.
Yeah. Memberships. Nope, Pipe Dreamer is the last one that hopped on. So
okay.
Cool. So yeah, thanks guys.
Yeah, appreciate
Pipe
you.
Dreamer's a good guy. Pipe Dreamer reached out to me on First Class the other day. Had some nice words.
Good guy. Great guy. He actually was in my area maybe a month ago, and he stopped in my antique shop booths out in Lancaster County in like Amish country, and visited there and took some photos from my booth. So super cool guy.
You know, I'm a little worried about my backup laptop now.
Uh-oh.
It just won't turn on. And I know it's charged. Let's see. Oh, almost lost it. But yeah.
So do you have any First Class Treasure sales scheduled? I think I saw something new.
Shane's got again.
Yeah.
No, I just had one yesterday and the day before. I'm going to try to do one reseller lot and then one single item show every week. So I'm hoping to do 2 a week.
Yeah, I got to get one scheduled over there. I've taken a little step back because I was feeling a little bit burnout, and which I do so much, and it was like
you have so many crafts that
Yeah. Yep. So this new clothing store and these 2 other shows, there was like I had to get insurance for one of the shows. It was like sort of put me to the brink of like, so I took a little step back from live streaming, even though I still live stream 4 times this week. It's I guess a slight step back than what I had been doing. So
well, and then this and your other live show podcasts.
Yeah. Yep.
Lots of crafts.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That's funny.
So yeah, it'll be interesting though for I'm trying to think what I have. I have the break tonight, then I have the one Sunday night. And I took a pause on I usually do a show on Monday nights on Whatnot with Carrie and Rod, like a Ray train.
Mm-hmm.
I took a step back from that for the next few weeks just so I could get the stuff done for the show, get stuff priced. So I'm sort of hoping there's a lot of Eagles players that shop. With a couple Eagles players live in my town. And I know they shop in this the main strip where the clothing store is going to be, but I'm putting a ton of Eagles stuff out there. So I'm hoping we get a little Eagles connection. Some of the players. Yeah.
Definitely record while you're there.
Yep. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
Do you do videos where you're like a vendor, or do you only do sourcing videos?
I do. I do. Usually those videos I'm also sourcing too. Like I do, like I did one a month ago at the clothing show where I was showing the setup. And I did one at the national last year showing the whole process of setting up. That was like my most difficult edit ever. And
Mhm.
that whole footage was like 3 videos I did for 3 different weeks. But man, that was a challenge, all the editing. But it's sort of cool, like the move in, the move out, like the booth selection, like there's a lottery system they use. So I included all that. So I try to put that in there because it's something different that you don't see a lot of people do.
Oh, they do a lot of. So you don't pay extra to be closer to the door. You just pay a set price, and they spin a wheel, and that's where you end up.
Not a wheel, it's like by priority. So I'm like a priority number 9, meaning I've done more than 9 shows, but
Uh huh.
under my name I've done 9 shows. So the people with like 20, a priority number of 20 pick first,
Yeah.
and then so on and so forth. So then you get to choose. There's a giant map of the show floor. They call all the 20s up and all the 10s up,
Almost
and you
like
go
getting
up
on
and
an airplane.
yeah, yep,
Like group
exactly,
one, group two.
yep,
Yeah.
exactly. And the lower tier people do get shut out. I mean, if you're like a 1 or 2, you're probably not going to get a booth in Chicago,
Yeah.
even if you've done one before.
So
So
they only have like 400 available, and like
yeah,
500
and
people.
it's shrinking a bit. I mean, the show is massive, but there's more and more like corporate space. Like Panini has a massive space, and all the auction houses get big spaces.
Yeah.
So a lot of the dealers get shut out. So
Good
yeah,
old Panini.
yep. It'll be interesting next year with the card market when Panini losing their licensing. So
Yeah. It's gonna be interesting.
yeah,
A lot of people hate Panini. I like the cards, so we'll see. We'll see what happens with more competition. The cards will probably improve over time, which will be good.
I think so. I like Panini. I think I like it better than Topps products, but I'm more of a
Me
football
too.
guy. So I mean, Panini's, it's all about Panini, but
Yeah.
it's crazy though. A company, I mean, how many different set products do they produce? Like there's probably like a dozen different Panini football products out there.
Oh, dude,
So it
I'd
is
say
sort
several dozen. Like, there's
yeah,
probably like 40 to 60 different runs, I'd say, at this point.
yeah, absolutely.
And then
Yeah.
each one of those runs has a one of one, so it's like it's really a one of 40. Because
Oh yeah.
you know, there's
Yeah.
40 different one of one Caitlin Clarks out there each year. But
Yeah. Like Carrie's one of one. I forget what that set was. That was Panini, I
it's
think.
funny. On
Don
he
Russ.
on a random video by Carrie on Facebook, he's just like opening up a pack of cards, and there's like maybe $6 worth of cards in there. And I commented, "Can you please do more videos where you pull 40K cards? I like those ones more." And
Yeah.
I still get like a like or two a week off of that. So I'll see it like in my Instagram feed, like, oh,
Oh,
you
that's
got more.
awesome.
It's funny. So yeah, sounds
Yeah.
like his video's still doing well today.
Yeah.
That one. Uh-huh.
I'm an idiot. I don't know if it's not his short, but his full length video. He showed me the card at the national. I had like no idea what the heck it was. I wasn't like as excited as I should have been because he like came up to me and said something to the effect of, "Was this a good buy at the bargain box?" Like
Yeah.
sarcastically, like, and I didn't. I'm like, yeah, it's a good buy, I guess. I don't even know. So I'm getting more into modern cards since then, but I was always much more into vintage. So
Yeah.
um, yeah, of one. I mean, that's the best name to have at that time period. But
Oh yeah, for sure.
yeah,
Four Scherzies. Did they even do one of ones really back in the day? Like, could you get a one of one rookie Kobe Bryant card? I don't even think they are.
I don't think so. I mean, even those like the big Jordan, like Fleer metal cards, I don't think
Yeah,
there were any that was
there
numbered stuff. I don't think, right?
there was numbered stuff, but it was like out of 3,000, and
Yeah,
there were actually like they only did like maybe 3 or 4 runs of numbered cards. So like it's really like there's only 3,000. Not there's a 1099 for Mosaic and 1099 for all of Prism and all of the other ones.
yeah.
So yeah, they'd have like bigger, like out of 2,000, out of 3,000, but they were kind of truer, I guess you'd say.
Yeah. I'm much even for the modern stuff, I'm much more into autographs than
Yeah.
like I'd rather have an auto out of 99 than an unsigned 1 out of 10 or something. Just for me, it's cooler to at least a little bit of a memorabilia aspect to it, I guess.
But if
But
you can get an RPA, and now you're
RPI,
really
yeah,
talking. Dude,
yeah, absolutely.
the Logo Man Cooper Flag card is gonna go crazy. That
Oh
one,
yeah,
yeah, that one's gonna be in the millions for sure. Who knows how much though?
oh yeah. That'll be that. I'm sure that stuff's going to be wild. Whatever product it would be, whether it's optic or I know not for that one, but just in general when that stuff comes out. Which I don't know when does that come out?
I think the first you can start getting Cooper Flag cards. I think next month.
Okay,
So, but it's like it's they use that. So they start out with the college jerseys, which I mean they'll still have cards going for a few $100 for Cooper. But then once it's like his first Mavericks jersey, and then when they release the Mosaic and the Prism, those ones start going pretty crazy.
yeah. I
But
don't think anybody's doing basketball over on Did the Cards yet, but I'm sure that'll come. I'm
yeah,
sure.
I love basketball. Basketball's my thing for sure.
Yeah.
And
I mean, I
basketball, it's like a debate what really started the huge boom in the sports cards world again. But I really think it was Zion Williamson for sure.
oh yeah,
Yeah, it was Gary Vee talking about Giannis, and then um, Zion Williamson being able to dunk from a seated position, but basically.
yeah. I know I bought a bunch of that stuff back then for a buddy. I wasn't interested in modern cards, but anytime I was out of Target, I would check for him, and I did buy a bunch for him. But that was a wild time because he's like a full-time reseller, doesn't have any other kind of job. But I would say like 80% of his job now is like a just going to Target and Walmart's and buying mainly Pokemon, I think, but he'll buy like optic and stuff. But
Yeah, Pokemon's been really good.
yeah, I bought a couple boxes today. I was going to my Target looking for like Bowman blasters or optic, and I know they stock today, and I guess they limit Pokemon buys in this shop. So I did buy, or in this Target, but I don't think what I got is great. It's the Destiny Shield
Yeah.
ETB, whatever. I don't know. It's all Latin to me, but we'll see.
Yeah. But no, yeah, this Michigan reseller, he's got some the good goods. Like they'll go for hundreds of dollars
The
for
silver
sure.
prismatic stuff, and yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. Dude,
yeah,
Shane might be out for the count on this one.
yeah. I think he texted me. He said he can't get back in. Let me
Yeah.
see. He sent another image. What's this? He just sent me pictures of trees. Oh, he said, "Here's the severe weather that got my internet down. It's just a beautiful blue sky."
There
So
you go.
yeah, it's weird.
That's just their fallback excuse for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you got an old school flips hat on?
I do. Yeah, on
Good
Did
old
the Threads.
Jimmy.
Yep,
Is he a
Jimmy Clip.
James or is he a true Jimmy like Jimmy Butler?
I don't know. That's a good
We'll
question.
have
I
to
assume
ask
he's
him.
a James. I'm sure he's a
He's in
James.
line to come on the show. We've reached out to each other. He might be our next guest.
Oh, cool. Jimmy's
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah,
I bought a bunch of clothing from him recently on Threads because
honest.
he's a great picker.
Yeah, no, he gets really good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like I don't know. People say everywhere across the country sucks. I guess for reselling, people just have bad attitudes or something. But for some, I hear a lot like, oh, Columbus and surrounding areas in Ohio are just awful. It's like, dude, Jimmy's making a full time living, you know.
Oh yeah.
Ready Set Resell lived in Columbus. He made a full time living. Um, Dad Planet, he's another reseller. I think he's from Columbus. John Cincinnati Picker. Like some people just like complain, man. If you're not good at something, you just assume that it's the environment when really it's you.
Yeah, you got to think outside the box too a little bit with that kind of. I mean, especially in that area in the winter, it's going to be a different kind of
Oh
thing,
yeah,
right? You're not going to go to
different
yard
beast
sales,
for
but
sure.
if you're buying storage units or going to estate sales or like flea markets, I know they're still open in a lot of areas in that area in that time of year. So I know Mojo Dojo, Josh,
Yep.
Mojo Society, they're out in Lebanon, so not super far from Columbus, I don't think.
Yeah,
So
I did some selling in Lebanon. I like Lebanon.
yeah,
Good
yeah,
little town. But yeah, dude,
yeah.
like I don't know. There's like 7 YouTubers from Ohio, so what's everyone else's problem?
Oh yeah, yeah.
I've said
They
this
seem like they have
before,
great
but
yard sales.
yeah, I've said it before, but like when people comment, "Oh, there's no thrift stores or yard sales like that in Florida," it's like, bro, you suck at your job. I'm sorry. Like you are just awful at this, man. Florida is the land of flowing milk and honey, man.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's year round for them, and they can always source. I mean, for me, I don't feel like I would find the kind of stuff that I want to find there as much, but
Yeah.
maybe I would. You never know.
Everyone says that Utah is like the greatest for thrift stores and stuff, and maybe it is. But if you ask everyone else in line with me, like, oh, the thrift stores suck here. It's like, what are you talking about? They're so good.
Yeah.
Like, I make a couple $100 every time I walk into one of these places. What are you doing?
Yeah. There's
Yeah.
a new Goodwill opened around the corner from me, which I haven't gone in there yet. I got to stop in, but I don't really thrift a ton, but I should stop in at least and look around, right? You know, you never know.
I mean, you just got so much else going on that you know.
Yeah. I don't need the inventory but it's more the thrill of the hunt, right? If you
I wonder
get
how
out
the
there and find something.
thrifting video would do on your channel.
Good question. I don't know. I mean, I'd like to throw a little variety in there, so it probably wouldn't be terrible. But
Yeah.
um, yeah, I mean, I don't know. Because it depends what I found, right? If I found something worthwhile of a video, I guess it would be okay.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I have a hard time like communicating that in thumbnails and titles because when I just do like a generic title, like psychologically worded correctly, but it's more generic. Like I found when I try to put like I found vintage He-Man at the thrift store, it's a 10 out of 10 every time. Like I just like
Yeah.
do not get views. But then if I put thrifting high value items at the thrift store, it's a 1 out of 10. And it has the He-Man in the video, but you wouldn't have known unless you clicked it. That's weird.
Yeah, I've learned my early thumbnails are terrible. My titles, I've learned that not necessarily. I've been accused by Dan and Demand in my video a couple weeks ago of clickbaiting him, which I guess I did. I don't feel like it was a clickbait, but you got to create a little intrigue in the title and the thumbnail, right, to get people in. So I guess it worked on Dan.
Yeah.
But I feel like I've gotten a lot better at that. But there's always some room to grow and improve.
Well, I'll do what sold videos, and one of my titles was like 18 items that sell for massive profits. And the first item in the video was a little toy that I sold for $18, and I got it for 5 cents. And they're like, that's not a massive profit. I'm like, dude, the 5 cents into $18. Do you even believe what you're actually saying? What are you doing, dude? Like, that's a massive profit, man.
Yeah,
that's like an 18,000% ROI. What are you talking about, buddy?
I should do more what solds. I did them for like 6 months. I did them once a week, and they're fun. I get to talk about the items that I sell. I sort of like replace that by the Mrs. Flip stuff, and but I still should redo them because I didn't know if like I know a lot of the big. What do you do them on separate channels from your picks and flips, or they all go on the same channel?
Yeah, I do it on JRed Flips.
Okay.
And then I have JRed Picks for live sourcing.
So I wasn't sure doing like that kind of video on my main channel if that would hurt me or help me. Like, I guess more content, the better.
Honestly, like I'm considering just dropping my JRed Picks channel.
Really?
Like, yeah, I think it's negligible. But like there's two ways to do what sold videos. There's like the Kevin and Dave way where they like talk about topics and their title is a dramatic topic.
Yeah.
And then have you ever heard of Flipping Junk?
No.
His name's Wick. He I think he's from Columbus too. I mean from Ohio too. I could be wrong. But so him and I have a similar style where instead of putting like eBay resellers are getting audited, like Dave and Carrie, we just put 86 items that sell on eBay to make consistent money. So you can like go the route of like, hey, here are items that you should look for, or you can go the route of, hey, this is a topic show where I show you sales in between. So I don't know. Shane like follows like the Kevin and Dave model. And I've told him I think he would do a little bit better if he followed the me and the Flipping Junk model.
More the educational versus like a topic, like or just I got you.
And not even like super educational, just a thumbnail and title, like
okay,
really just the title. Because Dave and Kevin will use like, I quit this reselling platform, and that's what gets the clicks. And then me and Flipping Junk, we use the how to actually make money in eBay titles, and it works for us. So I don't know.
Yeah, and everyone to each their own. I know like Kevin, I feel like everything is planned out. I mean, not in a negative fashion at all, but he really thinks out. I know he storyboards his videos, I think, right? And he like has this which I think you'd have to do to talk that long about a topic while interspersed with like pulling orders, and that's definitely a skill. Whereas Dave
Yeah.
is just like his free flowing mind, like delving into wherever he wants to talk about, and that's a skill too for him. I mean, it's
Uh,
yeah, they're good at what they do, and for those
yeah,
kind of flipping
they have
videos.
the similar style, but opposite. So Kevin plans everything out,
Yep.
designs it spiritually before he designs it physically, and
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
Dave just does what he does, and then comes up with the title after. He's like, "Oh, what did I talk about? Okay, yeah, that's a good title."
That makes sense.
Maybe I
Yeah.
mean that's just what I'm assuming. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
So
yeah,
I should
that's
start to
what
do them.
Kevin's boss does.
If I didn't have the full-time job, I think I would do flipping what sold videos, because I would be at the warehouse filming, like pulling the orders. I would enjoy doing that, but it'd be down the road. But
Yeah.
yeah, they're fun,
Yeah,
especially when
you could do a combination of both. You know, you could be like,
yeah,
Jason Kelsey called me to take this item down. That could be a title.
there
Or
you go.
and then your other one is like, oh, here are 55 items that sell consistently on eBay to make money every day. You
I
do
was
both.
definitely following that model when I was doing them. I would do like, these are the top style hats to look for, and I was like showing some hats that sold and interspersed with other stuff. So I was following more your model when I
Yeah,
did them, which maybe I'll start doing them again. They're fun.
yeah, you should.
Yeah.
There's probably a third model that someone hasn't done and uncovered yet, and maybe they will crush it. Maybe you'll come up with it. It's kind of hard to
Yeah.
think. How else would you do a what sold video?
Yeah,
Yeah.
other than just the Mrs. Flips the whole time, like, just handing her that would work,
Yeah.
I guess. But she dreads helping me with any. I've tried to get her on the podcast, like my Wednesday night show. She
Yeah.
came on once, but it's like, I don't think it'll ever happen again. She's not too thrilled with the idea.
Yeah. Yeah. Brindley did an episode. It was just her and I.
Yeah.
When Sunny quit, and I did an episode with Kevin and Carrie, Caleb Sells, and my wife. And the one with my wife did really well. And she killed it. She was a natural.
Yeah, that was great. Yeah, I watched that. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was only one though. I thought it was more than one. It was only one episode.
Yeah, I've only done one with Brindley.
Yeah.
Everyone said that, oh, just stick you and Brindley. Because now she works like 30 hours a week in reselling, I'd say.
Okay. And then I know her training's taken off too. So that's
Yeah,
that's awesome.
yeah, it's going great. Good stuff.
Did you ever maybe we'll talk to Shane about this when I see him again, but did you ever use like Opus Clip or anything for like shorts for the podcast in the past?
Yeah, no,
Like,
I just do CapCut, and
CapCut?
every short that I make is an organic piece of content. It's not cut from any videos.
Okay.
Because other people have really huge success with them, but in the reselling community, I just don't feel like they're very effective really at all.
That's the only really shorts that I use, or is I repurpose full length video into
Yeah.
shorts. But I know, just because I don't really shoot in short format much, like a vertical format. I've done it a couple times where primarily for that in mind, but and then some have done well, depending on what I sourced, and the storyline that happened. Those have been my best videos as far as like views and getting some subscribers from them. But
Yeah. How many subs are you at on YouTube now?
good question. Let me look. I don't even know.
18 million.
Let's see.
Yeah,
5734. 5,700.
Oh, nice.
Not 18 million. Yeah. I never thought I would get to 1,000, so I'm thrilled with that.
Oh, that's dope. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'll actually get to 100,000 pretty soonish, just because my shorts on YouTube are starting to compound and take off. So I don't know. Some people call it the cheater way. I kind of view it as the cheater way, but 100,000 is 100,000, I guess.
Oh yeah, no, it's if they're interested in the content enough to click on that. I mean, even though some of those might not convert over to your full length stuff, I'm sure some do, right? So
yeah, just a few.
Yeah.
But yeah, well, we've been going almost for an hour and a half, and Shane definitely isn't coming back.
Yeah. Hopefully, you at least send me the pictures of that sports room again. I want to take a look for him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you got anything to plug?
No, so just my Wednesday night live on my channel, Vintage Sport Flips. We have a live every Wednesday night. We have a giveaway every week. I put out a picking video every Saturday, 1 o'clock. So check me out over there.
And my name is Mike. Come visit me here on YouTube as the Death Pile Picker, and we'll see you in the next video.
I can understand you too well for that one, though, right?
Yeah. Should have
Sorry,
muffled my
Mike.
voice a little bit.
Yeah. Chew some ice. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
All right.
See
See
you
you
guys.
guys.